White people, check out this video real quick.
What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell?
This is from South Carolina's game yesterday in Texas. The South Carolina player had just scored a touchdown and was walking through the tunnel when the Texas Ranger intentionally shoulder barges him and his teammate. This video is such a great example of whiteness and control culture for the following 3 reasons. 1, it shows how we as white people get our feelings hurt so easily when black people are just out there performing magic. 2, it shows how willing we are to use any authority we may have to engage in violence when we see black excellence. 3, it demonstrates that when we engage in this violence, we then try to blame the person that we've hurt for causing the violence in the first place. White people, as always, we need to be doing much better.
Why don't we just give us what you owe us and we can go on and do our own shit? But no, they don't want that. White folks especially hate autonomous black happiness. They do not like when we are by ourselves doing our own shit. They cannot stand that shit. They don't even like us in a group. Like in Chicago, there used to be a thing, if you were 5 or more black guys on the corner, the police break it up. It's called mob action. It's like, what's going on here? If you're at work and you're a black employee and you're talking to another black employee, the white boss goes, hey, what's going on over there? You know what I mean? I went to a very white university, and then when the black students hung out with each other, the white students would be like, oh, you guys hang out, you don't mix with us. I go, are you fucking kidding me right now, you delusional clown?
You think white people hate black people?
Yes.
Or they just don't understand us?
Hate us. They understand us. Nigga, they made us. They educate us. What you mean they don't understand us? They educate us. 95% of school teachers are white in America. What you mean they don't understand us? Most of them are our probation officers. Most of them are our judges. What you mean they don't understand us? They're reading our files. They know our history. They know our history better than we know it.
But they don't understand. They don't understand the struggle, though. That's what I mean. They
do understand the struggle. They created it for us to struggle. They know what the struggle does to us. Believe me. We don't know. That's why we talk about. That's why we try to embrace the struggle like it's something. That's why we put the struggle over a middle class life. You didn't get it out the mud.
Even with all the white privilege in the country, they are still following up, disturbing the black people when they are just having their joy. You have seen what the cop has done to the players. He just wanted to cause chaos, then reverse the case to be on the players. But they were smarter more than him.
You know, I'll never forget the day a white buddy of mine said black people don't deserve equality because they could never get enough. And that's true. White people are actually scared of equality. That's just how racist we are as a people. And it's not just that one person. White culture in general. Probably I would say most white people, when they hear the word equality, they fear that white people will be oppressed because brown, black, and indigenous people might actually get what's fair and just. That's just how racist we are. And we're so obsessed with the idea of not having equality in America for black, brown, and indigenous people that we don't have health care, that we don't have economic equality. We don't have reasonable gun laws. Our liberties are being stripped because we have a fascist, racist, white supremacist regime in office because we are so scared of equality. We're so scared that black and brown folks might become the majority one day. That we had a black president and now we've got to have a white supremacist president. That's how scared we are of equality. That's how racist we are as a people. Go to the fucking root. The root of America's problems. The root of the white man and the white woman, their problems, and America and the world. If you think about it, colonialization, white supremacy, the mentality of white people today, not just yesterday, today, right now, the denial racially, the silence, the apathy, the continuous gaslighting, all that fucking shit. That's ruined us. It's ruined white people, and it's ruining our nation. And whose fault is it? White people's fault. Their inability to fucking fix their goddamn problem. Until we fix white supremacy, everything we try will fail. It's dysfunctional and it's toxic, and Trump and this regime is the perfect proof of all that shit. How we got in this fucking mess? White people's bullshit. White people's racist fucking bullshit. Period.
So white people will never leave black people alone, and I'm gonna tell you why. White society's obsession with black people isn't new, it's centuries old. If you think about slavery, colonialism, and exploitation, from the start, white wealth in America was built off the backs of black bodies. Sugar, cotton, tobacco, rice. This wasn't just economics, it was a system where white people's very identity was shaped around controlling and owning and watching black bodies. But here's the wild contradiction in all of this, right? While trying to dehumanize us, white culture has always been obsessed with us, right? They copied our music, our style, our language, our food, even our rhythm, all while denying us basic rights. Think about jazz and rock and hip hop and fashion, all born out of black genius, only to be taken, watered down, and sold back to the world with a white face on it. So why can't they just stay away? Because in a system that is built both on exploitation and envy, distance is impossible. White supremacy depends on keeping black people in place, close enough to use, control, or imitate, but never free enough to threaten the hierarchy. It's a sick paradox, fear and fascination at the same damn time. On a psychological level, it's projection. White folks will project their guilt, their fear, and their insecurities onto blackness, and then turn around and crave the very life, culture, and resilience they tried to destroy. It's like they want the sauce, but not the struggle. Now, to be real, not every white person acts like this, but the system, the way whiteness has defined itself against blackness, makes it so this obsession keeps resurfacing. Whether it's over policing or culture appropriation or trying to legislate our lives, it always comes back to the old need to dominate mixed with a quiet desire to be what they can't.
Why do white people resent black excellence? Let's talk about it. Not all white people are racist, obviously, but there is a specific subset for whom black excellence seems like a personal affront to them, right? It really bothers them when black people succeed. The 13th Amendment emancipated enslaved black Americans in 1865, and then the Jim Crow laws kind of wrapped up with the passing of the Civil Rights Act in 1964. So if we do the math, that's about 61 years in which black Americans were able to strive for success in any sort of meaningful way without like the constraints of the law pulling them down. 61 years. If we compare that to white Americans who besieged a land already owned and occupied by indigenous Americans, we'll put that around 1620 when, the Mayflower came here, then that gives them about 425 years to establish success in this country. 425 versus 61. If we compare those two fundamentally very different time spans, like, how much did white Americans actually do in all of that time? If we are to compare even the poorest and most underprivileged of white America to black America generally, it is clear that white Americans are born way past the start line, right? By that I mean, by like nature of being white in American society, you do benefit from all sorts of privileges. And like, to be frank, you're not exhausted by the horrible experience of facing racism on a daily basis, right? You do have a ton of privileges. So I imagine existing in this bubble of privilege that you like totally deny, the existence of black people for whom success is like second nature when it comes so easily and so readily, even though you've only had 61 years to achieve it, I imagine that's exhausting and frustrating. I imagine it makes people feel super, super inferior and hurts certain people's tiny, tiny little egos. And what do they blame that deep, deep psychic pain on? Well, of course, DEI and critical race theory and affirmative action. So I guess the question is, what might help those white Americans who just so strongly detest black excellence? Like, what will help you? And for that, I would suggest like a lot of therapy, like a ton of therapy. And I would also just suggest that we open the schools, right? We teach people history. Yeah, maybe? Okay, bye.
One of the reasons the black man and black woman are so hated in this world is because we're the only people on earth who can reproduce ourselves within any other people. If I lay with a Latino, an Arab, an East Indian, a Native American, a European Jew, an Anglo-Saxon female, she's producing a black child. No matter what man a black woman lays with, she produces a black baby. No other group can do that. And the European in particular can only reproduce himself and his own woman. If the white man wants a white child, he can only copulate with the white woman because his genetic power is so weak that he has to stay within his community in order to reproduce himself. And that's why the gun, as the late great Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, rest in eternal peace, spoke of in her ISIS Papers book that everybody should read. We get it wrong. Brothers in the hood think the white man is envious of your physical size, of your genitalia. That has nothing to do with it. He doesn't envy the genitalia because not every black man is blessed with a large genitalia. What he envies is your reproductive power, your ability to go anywhere in the world and create a black nation no matter what the color of the woman.
The reason why every race on earth hates the black race is because we are the oldest people on the planet. The reason why every race, whether it be Asian, Indian, white, Hispanic, whatever, the reason they all have a deep hatred for the black-skinned, melanated, deeply melanated people is because we are in fact the original people of the planet. There was a point in history where 100% of planet Earth's population was deeply melanated black people. And it's important to make sure that black-skinned people are not aware of this fact because it's too empowering. This is why every race on earth works together to gang up on the black race and to emphasize every negative aspect of the black race to prevent this realization. If dark-skinned, black-skinned, deeply melanated people understood that at one point in history, planet Earth was 100% black, that planet Earth is in fact a black planet, that is too empowering. That fills you with too much pride, which is why there is constant attack on the psyche, on the self-esteem of the black race by every other race. There is no other people that has been ganged up on historically more than the black melanated people. Thoughts of the day, guys. What do you think about that?
White supremacy has made the white people believe that they are superior than any other race in this country. And that's why they want to fit each other race in a certain condition, in a certain circle, so that they are able to be on top. You have seen the white man has said that it will be very, very hard for the white people to give equality to the black and brown people. Most of them believe that if the black people rule, they're gonna revenge to what has been happening to them for the longest time. But I don't think the black people are even bothered by that. And that's why most of them, if they cannot control these other races, they just want to be closer to them and now start interrupting them because of what? Because of jealous. You have seen what has happened to the cop on the first clip. For me, what ran in my mind was it was just pure jealous, and he just wanted to interrupt with the black players. But the guys were smarter and they ignored the whole situation and he felt embarrassed. You saw that? Really, he felt embarrassed. And that is what has been happening to the black people in this country. With all the privileges the white people have had in this country, I don't see why you should be bothered by the black excellency and start exposing your hate towards them. You don't even face what the black man has faced in this country. You don't face racism. You don't face discrimination. You don't face, you don't get arrested anyhow by the cops out there. You already have the white privilege. You have been teaching these people. You know everything. You know their history, the history that you hid from them, and you decided just to put everything under the carpet. It's really funny because black people should be the least to be bothered in this country, because why should you be following someone whom you say is inferior to you? Why? Let me know in the comment section. Why should you be hating on someone maybe you think is inferior to you? Why should you be hating on someone whom you think you look better than them? Why should you be hating on someone whom you think you are more educated than him or her? Let me know in the comment section. Any day, anytime, if you're a black person, remember to celebrate your small wins because you have come from far. Thank you for watching.